Yeah, just down the road here, got a police station. So we're gonna go have a little look at that, and pick it back up with you there, guys. So last time I came here, there was issues with the parking, and there were issues with the data breach of somebody's photocopy of somebody's ID left on the counter in front desk. So we're going to look at the parking that around first. So I do have parking down there underneath, which we discovered last time. And they've got yeah, so those ones are parked in the police only parking base, that's good. This one's parked, I think it's in the police only bay. Surely that bay shouldn't be that close to the junction though. There we go, this one. And this one parked here. Again in the police bays, which is good. Happy days. Oh no, you're kidding me.
We kick off today's audit by returning to a location with a bit of history, a place where previous visits raised some concerns, including a potential data protection issue. And it's always telling to see whether anything has changed since then. Starting from a public pavement, the auditor begins observing the surroundings, looking for signs of improvement or better awareness. But what unfolds through a simple ground floor window turns out to be far more significant than expected, hinting that whatever lessons may have been highlighted before haven't fully translated into action.
Look at that. That computer right there that lady's working on. Look at that, see her screen. That's not good at all, those screens. That's awful. It's shocking. Not good. So all this up here is police only parking on this side of the road, which is being well utilised. Looks like they're actually using it rather than parking in places that they shouldn't be, unlike last time. So yeah, I'm going to go back and look at this window again, see how long it takes them to realise what it is that they're doing. That's bad. I can see that lady's screen so clearly, like so clearly. She's literally like looking at somebody's document on the screen there. I'll blank this out, obviously I'll blur that for the video.
Take a look at this. Right there, that workstation is fully visible. You can clearly see the screen she's working on, and honestly, that's a serious concern because multiple displays are exposed in plain view, which really shouldn't be happening. It's surprising how open everything is, especially when it comes to sensitive information. And while the nearby parking area seems to be properly used this time, the real issue is still this window. So I'm going to head back and keep an eye on how long. It takes before someone realizes what's being left visible, because from here, it's incredibly clear. You can practically read what's on that screen, which shouldn't be possible from a public viewpoint. And of course, anything sensitive would be blurred in the final video. But the fact it's visible at all is the real problem.
That's disgusting. That's really, really bad. Not good. It's got reports open in Word. Or it might be an email. No, I think that's Word. It's a Word document. It's just got reports open, which has probably got people's personal information on it. It's got a map open on the other screen. That's terrible. So bad. And they're just oblivious to it. Like this ongoing data breach now. Where are we at? Okay, we're at 12 minutes now. Been there maybe 45 seconds to a minute. Let's see how long it takes. They've got blinds on the windows, that's what I don't get. Ridiculous. I'm honestly shocked.
The auditor settles in and continues documenting the issue, and the real tension here comes from waiting, as he observes that the office already has blinds in place that could easily fix the problem, yet they remain open, highlighting how effective security often depends on simple, consistent habits rather than complex systems. And when basic steps like closing blinds are overlooked, it can point to broader gaps in awareness or procedure, raising the key question of whether the staff are simply unaware or if it reflects a deeper issue in how security is managed overall.
Sat there eating a little yogurt pot thing, not caring the world. You need to pull the blinds across. Exactly. That's now taken about 3.5 minutes of all that information that somebody's now taken from these screens. That's better. It's ridiculous. Yeah, they've got another one here. You see through that gap there. It's bad. Why are they allowing such data breaches? Blinds need to come across. You can see all the information on that computer.
This is a striking sequence that really highlights the bigger issue, as the auditor points out an employee who appears completely at ease and unaware of the potential data exposure happening right beside them, emphasizing how crucial an organization's overall security culture is. Because even when one staff member begins to respond by closing a blind, The lack of wider awareness becomes obvious when another screen is still clearly visible through a different gap, showing that without consistent attention across the team, risks can remain exposed despite individual actions.
It's shocking. So they closed these ones, so when I put my thumb up and they clearly saw that that's what they needed to do, and they just decided to just leave this one. Now this person's finally doing this one. That took them far, far too long. Far too long. That's ridiculous. Pardon?
Can we help you?
No, you've done what you needed to do now. The blinds are closed now, aren't
For
they?
what?
Because your blinds were wide open. You're dealing with sensitive information on those computers, and you've got those blinds wide open.
No, but the point is that people can't sit in darkness all day either.
No, but you've got lights in there. Like, I understand, but the people's data protection outweighs the need for natural light through a window when you've got lighting. Why are you laughing? It's not funny. That's people's personal data. You're the police dealing with very sensitive
We're not the
information.
police.
It's the council.
No,
what is
police
it?
are next door.
The private firm. What are they? What firm is it? Because I'm going to report it to the ICO. So what? Rothorns.
After several minutes of filming, the staff finally appear to understand the concern as the last of the blinds are closed, a moment where many encounters would naturally end. But instead, a staff member chooses to step outside, opening the door to a more direct conversation. The tone begins to shift as de-escalation takes hold, and the auditor handles it well by calmly and clearly explaining what he was doing and why, framing everything around data protection rather than confrontation, keeping the focus grounded and professional. But just as things seem to settle, the discussion becomes far more precise as he outlines the exact legal time frame the firm may now be dealing with. And right when it feels like the tension has peaked, a new detail comes to light that changes everything. He realizes exactly who the firm is, adding another unexpected layer to the situation.
Okay.
I don't understand the need.
Pardon?
I don't understand the need. So you're telling us that our staff don't deserve daylight?
I'm not saying they don't deserve daylight, but
We already have unfortunately, because of how the light hits at the moment.
Yeah.
But we do actually have a tint on the windows to not be able to see through.
But I can, that's the thing.
Right.
Well, the tint's obviously not working. The woman that sat right next to the window, I could see the report that she was working on. I could see it had people's personal information on it.
Right.
And I've now seen that. That's a data breach. You need to report that to the ICO within 72 hours because that's a data breach. You don't know who I am. You don't know what I'm going to do with this information I've just seen from your screen. Okay? That's your client's personal information. Okay? This is going to go online and I'll blur out the information that's been recorded. But I'm going to highlight that your company are not looking after your client's data, which is not going to give your clients confidence in you, is it? It's not acceptable. Like, you handle clients' data and personal information, you need to look after it. You can't just let people wander by, because whether or not I've recorded it, the fact that I've seen it.
The staff member's point about needing natural light is a common source of friction, but it also reveals a misunderstanding of priorities, because data protection should always come before workplace comfort. And the auditor makes that distinction clear by explaining that the real issue isn't the act of recording, but the fact that sensitive information was openly visible to the public in the first place, effectively shifting the focus back to the core concern, which is the potential for a data breach rather than the presence of a camera.
It's a data breach, and it's massive. It's somebody's information. All right. Like, exactly. I don't mean to have a go, but it is serious. Like, if that were your information and I could stand there and record it, you wouldn't be happy about it. You know, and I wouldn't expect it if I were to use your company. Not that I will, because I don't trust you now. But you know, if I were to use your company, and my personal information is just on display through a window like that, it's just not cool. All right. But unfortunately, that's what it is. But yeah, that's why I've recorded it, because like I said, I will be highlighting this online, that the company have this issue with data handling, and I'll probably be reporting it to the ICO as well. And I said, because it's a data breach, it is your responsibility as a company. You need to contact your data manager, and they have 72 hours to report a data breach. Okay, if they failure to do it within 72 hours, then the legality of that and the fines that will cost the company can be in millions.
Now the auditor calmly outlines the firm's potential responsibilities, referencing the Information Commissioner's Office and the typical 72-hour window for reporting a possible data breach, bringing the focus back to accountability and what it means to properly address a mistake. And rather than presenting it as legal advice, he frames it as an informed observation to highlight the seriousness of what he's just witnessed, effectively placing the responsibility back on the company to decide how they respond and whether they take the appropriate next steps.
I mean millions. Okay, so I'll follow up with the ICO after 72 hours and put in a request to see if that report has been made by the company, and I'll be making my own report with the evidence that I've got on my camera. Okay? Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Alrighty.
And here's the twist that changes everything. The auditor discovers he's not outside a police station at all, but a solicitor's office, which adds an entirely new layer to the situation because a law firm is expected to operate with a high level of expertise when it comes to confidentiality and data protection. And you can hear the surprise in his reaction as it sinks in, making it clear that the standards in a setting like this should arguably be even higher.
It's a solicitors. Wow. So that's what they are. They're Roy Thorne's solicitors. Wow. So that's what they're doing with the public's information as a soliciting company. That is absolutely shocking. That is honestly ridiculous. So I thought it was still all part of the police. I didn't realise it had changed to a private company. But nonetheless, I don't know what's worse, if the police are handling it like that or if solicitors are handling people's information like that.
As the audit comes to a close, the camera pulls back toward the building, where the blinds are now fully shut, quietly signaling that the message has landed without a word being said. And while the interaction itself carried moments of tension, the outcome appears to lean in a positive direction with the immediate concern addressed on the spot. Yet it still leaves an open question about what happens next behind the scenes, particularly whether the issue will be formally acknowledged or reported internally.
Wow. I honestly don't know what's worse. But yeah, the blinds have remained closed. Damn. Right guys, going to wrap this one up here and head on to the next spot. And until the next one guys, stay safe, remember your rights, and as always, Sarah.
What started as a routine walk-by turned into an eye-opening audit highlighting key data protection concerns for a firm of solicitors, showing how easily sensitive information can be exposed through simple oversight, the importance of staying calm and clear in tense situations, and how filming from a public space can document what's openly visible and encourage accountability. Overall, it's a reminder that small moments can reveal bigger issues. What would you have done differently?